There exists in each of us a yearning, a deep and often unspoken longing to be seen, to be acknowledged, to know that our struggles are not in vain. In a world that often measures success by immediate results, it is easy to wonder, does my effort matter? Does anyone see the battles I fight in silence? Take heart, for you are not unnoticed. The one who set the stars in place, who watches over the sparrows, who calls each of us by name, he sees you. Every sleepless night, every step forward when the weight of doubt pulls you back, every sacrifice made in secret, none of it escapes his gaze. But you may ask, if God sees my effort, why do I still struggle? This is the lesson that many fail to grasp. The path to victory is rarely a straight road. It is carved through valleys of hardship, across mountains of perseverance, and through storms of uncertainty. The victory you seek is not always the one you imagine. Sometimes the battle strengthens you before the crown is placed upon your head. Trust then not only in the victory itself, but in the process leading to it. A seed must endure the darkness of the soil before it reaches the sun. A sword is only strong once it has faced the fire. And you, yes, you, are being refined for something greater than you can presently understand. Hold fast. Keep moving forward. Your effort is seen, and your victory is assured. Not because the world says so, but because the one who holds eternity in his hands has declared it so. In the quiet moments of our lives, when we labor in silence, give our best without recognition, and press forward despite the weight of discouragement, it is easy to feel unseen. We live in a world that thrives on applause, where success is measured by visibility and recognition. Yet there is a truth far greater than human validation. God sees every effort, every struggle, and every unseen sacrifice. Nothing escapes his notice, from the grandest gestures of love and faithfulness to the smallest acts of kindness done in secret. He watches with eyes full of understanding. He sees the single mother working tirelessly to provide for her children, the student striving against all odds to achieve knowledge, the laborer who gives his best though no one thanks him, and the heart that chooses goodness, even when surrounded by temptation. These are not forgotten moments. They are precious in the eyes of the one who sees all. Many grow weary because they associate effort with immediate reward. When their hard work is met with silence instead of appreciation, they begin to question its worth. But God's way is not like the world's. He does not measure our value by human standards. He does not need an audience to validate our perseverance. He sees what others overlook, and he treasures the integrity of a heart that labors in faith. Consider the nature of seeds. When a farmer plants a seed, there is no immediate sign of progress. Days pass, sometimes weeks, before even the smallest sprout appears. Beneath the surface, however, something miraculous is happening. The roots are spreading, the seed is drawing nourishment, and life is forming even though the ground looks unchanged. Our efforts often resemble this unseen growth. Just because we cannot yet see the fruit does not mean the process is without purpose. History is filled with accounts of those who persevered despite seeming invisibility. Great inventors, writers, and reformers toiled for years in obscurity before their contributions were recognized. But even if the world never acknowledged them, their efforts still mattered. More importantly, God saw their endurance, their commitment, and their quiet faithfulness, and He sees yours. When we embrace this truth, our perspective shifts. We no longer labor for the fleeting praise of people, but for the lasting approval of God. We do not measure our progress by immediate results, but by the faithfulness with which we continue. This understanding brings peace, for it means that no good deed is wasted, no moment of perseverance is overlooked, and no act of righteousness is forgotten. If you find yourself weary today, questioning whether your struggles have meaning, remember this: the eyes of heaven are upon you. Your efforts are seen, your tears are counted, and your sacrifices are known. In due time, you will reap what you have sown. Until then, walk forward with confidence, for you are never unseen, never forgotten, and never alone. Trusting in victory when it seems distant or uncertain is one of the greatest tests of faith. In a world that values immediate results, we often struggle with waiting, wondering if our efforts will ever bear fruit. We may look around and see others achieving success, while we remain in the same place, laboring without visible progress. Yet, true victory is not always seen in the moment. It is often hidden, unfolding in ways we cannot yet understand. Victory, in its truest sense, is not merely an external achievement, but an internal reality shaped by faith, perseverance, and trust. It is easy to believe when results are tangible, but the real test comes when nothing appears to change despite our prayers and efforts. This is where many falter, not realizing that delays are not denials. Just as a tree takes years to mature, so does the fulfillment of certain promises in our lives. What we see as waiting is, in truth, preparation. Throughout history, those who have achieved the greatest victories have often endured long seasons of uncertainty. Many of them walked through trials, setbacks, and moments of deep doubt. Yet the difference between those who succeed and those who give up is this: those who succeed trust in the unseen. They understand that even when nothing appears to be happening, something is. Consider a mountain climber scaling a steep peak. With every step, the summit seems just as far away as before. The climb is exhausting, the air grows thin, and doubts creep in. But if the climber were to stop and look back, they would realize how far they have come. The progress may not always feel significant in the moment, but every step counts. The same is true for us. Every effort we make, every time we choose faith over fear, every moment we press on despite discouragement, we are moving forward. Trusting in victory requires shifting our focus from the immediate to the eternal. We must learn to see beyond our current struggles and recognize that God's timing is perfect. The victory we seek may not come exactly as we expect, but it will come in the way that is best for us. Sometimes, the delay itself is part of the victory, shaping us into stronger, wiser, and more faithful individuals. Doubt is natural, but it should never dictate our actions. If we give up too soon, we may abandon the very thing that was about to bear fruit. Victory is often just beyond the point where many surrender. That is why endurance is key. Trusting in God's promises means believing that He is working even when we cannot see it. So, keep going, keep striving, keep believing. Your efforts are not in vain, and your breakthrough is closer than you think. Trust not only in the victory itself, but in the one who has already secured it for you. In time, you will see that every moment of faith, every sacrifice, and every unseen effort was leading you to exactly where you were meant to be. Endurance is not merely about surviving hardships. It is about being transformed by them. Every challenge we face, every struggle we endure, shapes us in ways we do not immediately perceive. It is in the midst of trials that our character is refined, our faith is tested, and our strength is built. We often desire victory without the process that prepares us for it. Yet true victory is not simply about reaching a destination. It is about becoming the person who is ready to receive it. Difficulties are not punishments, they are lessons. When we encounter resistance, we may be tempted to see it as an obstacle, something standing in the way of our goals. But what if the struggle itself is the very thing making us capable of achieving those goals? A weightlifter does not build strength without resistance, and a diamond is not formed without pressure. Likewise, we do not grow into our full potential without trials that demand perseverance. Many times, people pray for success but reject the process that brings it. They want wisdom without hardship, patience without delay, and strength without struggle. However, these qualities are not given. They are developed. The strongest people are not those who have never faced adversity, but those who have faced it and refused to be broken by it. They are those who chose to learn from pain rather than be defined by it. Consider a tree standing tall in the midst of a storm. The wind beats against it, the rain pours down, and the cold threatens to wither its leaves. Yet, the very storm that seems to endanger the tree is the reason its roots grow deeper. Without resistance, the roots would remain shallow and the tree would be easily uprooted. In the same way, our struggles force us to develop a foundation that can withstand greater challenges. If we were given victory too soon, without the endurance to sustain it, we would not be able to hold on to it when trials arise. Endurance is not just about continuing when things are difficult. It is about how we continue. Some endure with resentment, allowing hardships to make them bitter. Others endure with faith, allowing hardships to make them wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. The choice is ours. Hardship is inevitable, but what we become through it is within our control. The greatest victories are not those that come easily, but those that come after perseverance. A battle is only won when a soldier refuses to surrender. A race is only finished when a runner refuses to stop. And a life of purpose is only fulfilled when a person refuses to be discouraged by setbacks. So, if you find yourself weary, remember that your endurance is not wasted. Every step you take, every moment you choose faith over fear, and every time you press on despite difficulties, you are becoming the person who is ready for victory. Trust the process, for it is shaping you into something greater than you can imagine.